Hi folks, welcome back to the Addicted Bookworm. Alrighty, so I told you guys in the previous video that I was going to be doing a daily reading vlog journey, basically about me going through these books that I have decided to read this year. And yeah, alright, so last week I started reading Dune Messiah, and I had already prepped the numbers for these different chapters because Frank Herbert did not do that. Did not do that. So I read Dune, and I went and bought Dune Messiah. I think this was when I was in the post office because I was like, okay, great, I'm gonna finish Dune and then I'm gonna go to Dune Messiah. I will tell you, I had to take a break from Dune, from the world of Dune. Dune was a very thick book. It had so many, you could not understand any of the names, and you kind of wonder what is the point of it all. And I actually had some people comment on my review of Dune by Frank Herbert going, you got it. I was like, oh wow, I'm glad I did. So Dune Messiah, I'm on chapter 5, and part of the reading vlog is I'm going to read a little bit of the book that I chose each day. So later on today, when I wake up and I go to put my laundry in the washer, washer, I am going to sit down and I am going to read 2 chapters of Dune Messiah. I'm doing this tomorrow, and then of course Wednesday because I'll be on chapter 9. I'm going to probably read all the way to chapter maybe 15. My goal for Wednesday is to read all the way to chapter 15, and then I'll read like 2 chapters on Wednesday, and then I will finish the book probably Thursday or Friday. That's why I'm keeping my phone off, so I cannot be bothered by my work. Alright, so get into this book. So alright, so first and foremost, we continue the journey of people with unmentionable names, or names you cannot pronounce. And they talk about this Messiah that is supposedly has appeared, and basically that some of the characters do not dare to try to go at this Messiah because it will basically, there'll be martyrs. I personally don't understand how these people are thinking that this guy is the Messiah. And I think that, because I don't know anything about Frank Herbert, but I got a feeling that Frank Herbert was an atheist. That's just no, I'm not offended by that. But it's just like his writing style kind of hints that he's an atheist in a time when atheists were not really liked. However, this world is captivating, and I just like it's nice to read a book that's not thick like Dune. But as we progress on, I wonder what's going to happen, and I'm really eager to see what's going to happen. I do plan on to buy the 3rd book, and I will incorporate that 3rd book into my reading pile, just like I'm going to incorporate all the future Dungeon Crawling Carl books into my pile of books. So we'll see what happens. Then in The Court of Thorns and Roses, I'm currently on chapter 18, and okay, so I had been studying on this book for 2 years. I personally was not sure if I was going to like the book. I kind of liked the Throne of Glass series. I really didn't like the ending of the final book, but I decided to go ahead and swallow my pride and read this book. And It is about a world in which you have a wall, you have the folk, the regular folk, and you have the Fae. And what ends up happening is our protagonist, who I cannot pronounce her name, she goes and kills this wolf that turns out to be a Fae. And what happens is, because she has violated the terms of a treaty that she did not even think she could violate, she is brought over to the realm of the Fae, where she is living with this very hot guy and his equally hot friend. But right now there is no romance in this book so far. I'm guessing that Sarah J. Maas was still in her Throne of Glass phase, where we don't really get the hot, steamy sex that we're going to get later on. But it's interesting about how she is existing in this world, and how she's starting to see that these Fae are, even though they're different, they got some pretty nasty enemies that she does not want to royally piss off. Also, we find out in the book that her family's being well cared for. I don't know if that is just a, they're doing a payment or something like that. I don't really know. But there is really big animosity towards people that still venerate the Fae and still worship them. And they have a very nasty reaction to iron. And even though she is poor, even though she used to be rich, she still has a little bit of it. Like, no average person can afford iron, but yet she has it along with her siblings. But anyways, yeah, it's a very nasty place to exist. Probably the most traumatic one so far is the poor fairy that gets either his or her wings ripped off. I really felt bad for the poor creature, I really did. Anyways, later on today I'm going to read chapters 18, 19, and 20. I want to get to chapter 21, which means I will be almost at the halfway point of the book. Tomorrow I'm going to read, because I'm reading this on my Kindle, I'm going to probably read chapters 21 all the way to 25. And then Wednesday I'll read like 25 to 35. And then I will probably finish this book either Thursday or Friday. So I think both of these books will get finished at the exact same time. And then after that, I will grab one of the books that I have in my pile, and that will start its journey. I'm still reading the ebook version of Rhythms of War, because the physical book I have is small. The text is really teeny tiny, and I cannot read it with my eyes. Even with my glasses, it's still too teeny tiny, and that's my fault. I should have realized if the book is cheaper than it's supposed to be, it's probably a smaller version of the book. Alrighty, so that's my video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.